You know what I feel like doing? Rubbing things in the faces of inanimate objects. Hey, river maze! Hey, you can only be traversed by a canoe? Pfft, fuck no, I've got an airship, so there, take that, river. Anyway, here we are at the second major dungeon in the game, Mount Gulg, or Gurugu Volcano, or whatever it's called. No matter what it's called, it's got a dumb name. So, right in this first room, we're greeted by Magma. What's Magma do? It hurts, you dolt! Just like the ice spikes back in the ice cavern, for every tile of magma you walk over, you lose a point of HP. Now, that's not actually that bad. And part of the reason it's not that bad is you actually don't get into any encounters when you're walking on magma. Meaning, if you sacrifice just a little bit of health, you don't have to get into encounters, which is kinda nice. There are sections where you have to walk on one or the other, but for some reason, I prefer walking over the magma. I'm sure the Warriors of Light don't, because they are walking on boiling hot earth, but, I don't care. They're gonna walk over it. Now, this is probably one of the most annoying rooms in this dungeon. Actually, there's no probably about it. It is the most annoying one. Now, you probably saw a few of the chests lying around. This could potentially be a very short section. If you just walk along the bottom section, you'll get to the stairway pretty much immediately. And heck, I don't even think you have to get into any encounters, because you can just take the lava path, or magma path, rather. However, the chests, they tempt me. There are a lot of treasures, and I've just got to loot all of them. Just every last one of them. And it's not like the enemies down here are too bad. I mean, you got the recolors of the earth elementals, and you got the recolors of the cockatrices, which don't turn you to stone despite being recolors of those guys. Yeah, that's kind of pathetic. But hey, you know what? I'm not complaining. An enemy that doesn't turn me into stone, that's fine by me. I mean, if they just want to be fire versions of previous guys, then hey, go ahead. I don't mind at all. Just let me get to looting. Other than that, though, I don't think there are too many other enemy types around here. Definitely nothing to be worried about, actually. Wow, really? That is not a great sword. Its name lied to me. And, of course, this is the second dungeon that uses this song. Actually, technically, I believe this song's actually named... Oh, hey, look, Fire Hydra. There was no point to that whatsoever, but anyway, yeah. Actually, this song is, well, named after this area, Mount Gurugu, or Gulg, whatever its stupid name is. But yeah, still very annoying despite probably being one of the better songs in the game. It's just, you know, the Game Boy Advance version has that annoying beeping that I don't like. And oh, look at all these chests. Oh, I bet this area is just ripe with enemy encounter spaces, like this lava worm, which... Personally, I don't really see any sort of lava E-bits. I just saw a drooling worm thing, which... A worm with a mouth? That's kind of terrifying, actually. Worms are weird things. But yeah, overall, this probably isn't worth it. I mean, I got a Phoenix down, woo. I got a Mithril Axe, woo. Ooh, and a Mithril Shield, oh man. Such valuable items. But it's not like the journey to get them was all that difficult. I mean, look, the best thing that was here was probably the Rabid Worm. And that thing, it went down in one hit. I mean, I'm sure if I let it hit me, it would have kind of hurt as long as it didn't attack Vance. But seriously, it was just kind of pathetic. But yep, that's that floor done. These should only take a few minutes, and seriously, I just step over one panel and I get into a fight. See, that's why I prefer to stick with Magma. You know what? Because walking my feet over Magma is far more pleasant than being attacked by gigantic blue men and some sort of weird red dog thing. Far more pleasant. Oh, and look, I got a level. Isn't that just great? And yet, it's still painful to walk over Magma in the same fashion. You might be saying, well, of course, that makes sense. If you were to walk over Magma, it would hurt you no matter how strong you are. However, I would also like to bring up the fact that walking over ice spikes does pretty much the same amount of damage as this boiling hot earth. Yeah. So, I don't really think the laws of physics really apply here, or the laws of anything, really. Oh boy, this area is a bit of a maze. Again, this is one of those areas where if you know what you're doing, this won't take long to do, but if you don't know where you're going and what you're doing, that area can be a bit of a pain. As can this one, actually. There are quite a few treasures that are off the beaten path, meaning we get to travel farther if we want to get all our stupid things and... Really, lava worm? Well, it seems they are very, very strong against anything that's not ice, so I guess they have that going for them. However, because I have ice, they die immediately. They're just kind of pathetic that way. Yep. Of course, things down there, but there's stuff over here, and I have to have stuff. See, this what if I died of poison at some point and I didn't have that antidote? Oh look, a red dragon. These guys... shoot, do they have a party attack that can attack all the members of the party? But, well, now I'll never know because he decided to show up alone and die immediately. Way to go, red dragon. You screwed up your debut. And I'll probably never get screen time ever again. Wow, seriously? 165 gil? I mean, I guess it is connected to the, the area you actually have to use to get to the next floor, but still, nonetheless, you can give me more than 165 gil. It's kind of lame. It's just like, oh, here's this treasure. Ha ha ha! Fuck you, 10 gil. Ah, well, it's not like I need it that much anyway. And it's not like I'm suffering at this point. Not even when you're introduced, Fire Lizard. You can try your best, but you're gonna die. I'm clearly looking into the future to see these results. Oh, come on. You again! Didn't I just kill you? Wasn't even 30 seconds ago. It was like 10. Hey. Well, those were the most threatening enemy encounters I could have possibly imagined. Well, on to the next floor, which is the last floor of the dungeon, so isn't that just great? Now we just need to choose a path and look for some items before we take on the boss. Really? Empty chest. Okay, before I actually mention the boss's name, so I'm not... In case you're wondering why I didn't say anything before not saying anything while looking at the empty chest, that's why. Because why would I spoil a boss we're going to fight in about 2 minutes anyway? I mean, really. That would be like saying that you fight when you're in... See, if I had said that, that would not have been good either. That would have spoiled everything, man. Okay, I think I'm sensing a trend, but nonetheless I want to check out all the other chests in the area, because they might not be empty. Let me guess, empty, right. Well, now I'll never know, because now there's a fire gigas. Whoa, okay, that's actually potentially threatening. Good thing I had his weakness. He actually did damage to Vance, and oh, wow! Whew, the chest is... Oh, okay, Red Dragon, are you gonna do anything this time? You're gonna do something, right? You're gonna... Oh, yep, there he goes, he's using Blaze, which in other Final Fantasy games, cough cough Final Fantasy IV, or at the very least the DS version, that can be a very dangerous move. Here, it's pretty much nothing. Alright, well, at least I found Flame Mail down here. All the other chests were empty. Thanks, whoever came down here before me. Alright, so, here we are. The next crystal location thingamajig. Shrine, I guess. Are you speaking in third person? Because you are Merilith. Really hope she doesn't speak in third person. Third person? What does that even mean? My fire! Mine! Don't make me dance at you! Dance harder! Alright! Second Fiend in the game already! this is Merilith, Fiend of Fire, and she's also called Karen, or which is actually a mistranslation of the name Carrie, which I find hilarious for some reason. You just have this gigantic snake naga lady thingamajig named Karen. That amuses me because, again, I am dumb. Now, you might think, well, this is a fire boss, so we must have to use ice, right? Well, you'd be right in one part. Unlike Lich, Merilith actually focused on fire attacks, and as such, she does fire a lot. However, technically she is not weak against ice attacks. She's resistant against fire attacks and electricity attacks. However, she just takes normal damage from ice spells, which is kind of unusual. I mean, Lich kept his weaknesses, but I guess it's because he was dead or something? He was a skeleton man, but Merilith is full of bones and squishiness, and as such, she doesn't have weaknesses? Sure, let's go with that. Anyway, this is actually the first battle where the null spells are actually pretty useful. Because, of course, when you're fighting Lich, while he did like to use ice attacks the most, he could use any other elemental magic, so you really couldn't just use one specific null. You'd have to use a bunch of them, and, you know, it'd just take way longer to set up than really necessary. Here, though, you can set up a Null Blaze and you're good. So that's a hell of a lot more convenient. Now, this battle is definitely a lot easier than fighting Lich because, well, look at us. Okay, that was actually pretty... She hits pretty hard, but then that happened. I kicked her ass because Warriors of Light, bitches. We kill Naga thingamajigs. Snake ladies, they're fucking nothing to us. And with that, the balance of fire is restored? It didn't really go out of whack just yet, but, whatever. We saved the day. The world isn't on fire, so that's all good. And hey, what do you know? A second statue rises to the heavens. Bye, Merilith statue. You will be missed. And we're still not going to the bonus dungeons just yet, but... that is that. And with that, 2 of the 4 crystals have been restored. Of course, we still have the water and wind crystals to deal with, but those will be for a later time. For now, let's just sit here and bask in the glory of having killed the Snake Lady and prevented the world from being thrown into a catastrophic pit of fire. Okay, well, maybe not a pit of fire necessarily, but there would be fire, there would be death, and it would suck. But that's all past tense now, because it didn't happen. Because we're great. The end.